Hi, today I would like to show you how to knit Septuple Brioche or brioche across 7 stitches. If you are familiar with the idea of double brioche, this is the same concept, just worked over 7 stitches instead of 2. And you can do the same technique with any relatively small number of stitches, so you can do double, triple, quadruple brioche, and it's the same basic idea. And this is the stitch pattern that is used to create the tree trunk in my Braintree Shawl pattern. But you can use it for any design that needs a similar structure. So you can see here that I have 2-color garter stitch on the sides, and I have the tree trunk set up in Septuple Brioche, which is what I have set up in the Braintree Shawl. So first I'm going to work with my dark colored yarn, and this is purled in my my 2-color garter stitch. So I'm going to purl my way across. Here we go. Just purl my way across to the start of the tree trunk. All right, here we are at the start of the tree trunk. So you can see here that I have 7 dark colored stitches and 1 light colored yarn over all of those stitches. So this is the shawl of my brioche coming over all those dark colored stitches. So to work this with the dark color, I want to knit into that shawl and the first dark colored knit stitch, drop just that dark colored stitch off of my left hand needle, keeping the shawl over the other stitches, and just repeat that 7 times. And if your shawl does come off the other stitches, you can easily just pick that right back up and continue knitting across. It's pretty easy to have it slip off as you're pulling your dark colored stitch off that left hand needle. So you might have to just keep tucking it back on there in order to be able to work those stitches. So you can see I have now worked, and that shawl lies back behind the stitches, and I will now just purl across the remainder of my row. All right, so that's done. Now I'll slide to the other end of the needle to work my light colored stitches on the right side. So my light colored yarn is knit in my 2-color garter stitch on the right side. So I will knit my way across to the start of the tree trunk. Okay. And now you can see I'm at the start of the tree trunk, and I want to work this just like I would a slip-on yarn over in traditional brioche. So I want to bring my yarn to the front, and then I need to slip all 7 of these dark colored stitches. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 have now been slipped to my right hand needle. And now importantly, I'm going to spread these stitches out so that they are lying approximately spaced how they would be in my finished piece of knitting, because like working Fair Isle, I'm going to end up with a float across the back of these stitches, and I do not want that to be pulled too tight and cause the fabric to pucker. So I'm going to spread out the stitches, bring that yarn that I brought to the front, now I'm bringing it over so it's shawling all 7 of those stitches, and then I'm going to continue knitting to the end of my row. Oops. Knitting watching your hands in a camera is way harder than knitting when you can actually look at your hands. So sorry for that bit of awkwardness. So you can see here now we have this shawl over the light colored yarn over the dark colored stitches. And now let's turn and look at the wrong side of the fabric, which will give you more information about how these are worked. So you can see I've already done a few rows of this tree trunk, and I have these light colored floats, and these are the shawls that come behind the dark colored stitches on the wrong side of the fabric. So let's show you how I work the wrong side. So working the dark color first again. The dark color is knit on the wrong side. So I'm going to, in the garter stitch section, I'm going to knit my way across to that tree trunk. Okay, and now here I am at the tree trunk again, and again I have this shawled stitch that I want to work along with all 7 of those dark colored stitches, and I'm going to be purling these on the wrong side because they are knit on the right side. And again, I need to make sure to insert my needle through both that shawl and the stitch. Can be a little bit awkward. I don't normally have this much trouble with this. There we go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you can see again, I now have this strand of light colored yarn coming behind my dark colored stitches, and I will knit to the end of the row. All right, and now we'll work the light colored wrong side. So the light color is purled in my garter stitch on the wrong side. So I will purl my way over to the tree trunk. Alright, now I'm back at those tree trunk stitches again. Again, I need to bring my yarn to the front, which I'm purling, so it should be there anyway. Slip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches. Bring that yarn over the top, and now make sure I space them out so that I don't pull this float too tight, and then start purling again. And I will purl to the end of my row. Oops. All right, so that is the wrong side row, so you can see again those floats and that yarn over coming over the top of all 7 of those stitches. So I hope this helps you understand both the right side and the wrong side rows worked in the Braintree Shawl, and demystifies some of the techniques in multiple brioche knitting.